when I talk about the concept of authority, something I get asked about a lot is this distinction I make between two kinds of authority of command and authority of counsel. It's chapter 11 in the book I did on authority. What is this distinction you're making, Jonathan, between authority of command and authority of counsel? Okay, this is going to take a couple of minutes, all right? So you have to be patient. Both kinds of authority are genuine authority. That is to say, with both kinds of authority of command and authority of counsel, the person who has the authority has the right to make a command, a right to bind a conscience and say, you must do this, okay? That's what's the same about both columns. The difference between an authority of command and authority of counsel is that only with an authority of command do you have the right to enforce that command through an act of discipline, unilaterally enforce it through an act of discipline, whereas an authority of counsel, you don't have the right to unilaterally enforce. What you have the right to give in a command to, right? Let me give you some examples, maybe that'll clear it up. So think about the government. Does the government have the authority in Scripture to enforce what it commands? Well, yeah, I think we can summarize it in one word, the power of the sword, right? Okay, what about parents of young children? Do they have the right to enforce? Again, yeah, we think of one word, the power of the rod. Okay, think of the church, or an entire church. Does it have a right of enforcement? Yeah, we call it the keys of the kingdom, right? To remove somebody from membership in the church. Now, what about a husband? Okay, think carefully. Kind of scan your mind's eye over all of Scripture. Any place you can think of where husbands have a right to enforce or discipline their wives. I hope you say no. There's nothing like that in the Bible at all. Husbands do not have the right to enforce what they recommend or encourage or even command, if necessary, their wives to do. Jesus possesses that enforcement mechanism, you might say, right? They have an authority of counsel. And so it is, I would argue, as a Congregationalist, an elder-led Congregationalist. My Presbyterian and Anglican friends can disagree with me here, but I would say so the case is with elders or pastors. Pastors, elders do not have the right to discipline. You can't go to the pastor's office and have him say, you're out of the church, right? You can go to the church and say so-and-so needs to be removed, but he does not, or they do not unilaterally have the authority to remove someone from the church. Now, why is this important? These two buckets, these two columns, authority of command, authority of counsel. And this is crucial because it dramatically shapes the way you exercise that authority. When you have an authority of command, you are able to require something right now. You say to your 3-year-old, you need to go to bed. If not, there's going to be consequences. A policeman can say, you need to slow down the car, and you need to slow it down now. Right? With an authority of command, somebody's calling for immediate action. With an authority of counsel, however, you're taking your time and encouraging somebody in a certain direction, but you're respecting them as an equal. It's a form of authority that's appropriate to, suited to equals. So what is a husband seeking to do? He's seeking to draw his wife towards oneness. What is an elder seeking to do? Draw the congregation toward holiness. And both of them don't say now, both of them are called to play the long game. So a husband is to live with his wife in an understanding way. And an elder is to teach, as Paul says, with all patience, right? Or as he says to Philemon, I could command you. Instead, I would appeal to you. When you have an authority of counsel, pastors, husbands, you're seeking to draw people's own hearts into the direction that you're calling them to go, or hoping they're going, and wanting them to go. In that sense, it's almost, you might even say, an evangelistic authority. What does an evangelist do? An evangelist shares the gospel, says, hey, this is an authoritative pronouncement from God, but they're doing so in a way that's winsome. They're doing so in a way that's trying to draw people to make that decision for themselves as such. So I think getting these two columns straight, authority of command, authority of counsel, and recognize the different areas of life where they operate is crucial to us using our authority well. And in the book, what I try to do is I explain it. I spend a whole chapter explaining this. Take a look. And then in the following chapters, I look at the different areas where command works and counsel works as I understand it from Scripture.